though. Now, back to you and back to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Sakshi, for today.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Asia, for those guidelines and that amazing PowerPoint. And thank you for stopping me in middle because we had to see that PowerPoint. Definitely, I'm more of a visual person. I understand the rules better now. And your voice definitely is like honey to my ears. So now finally is the time for me to talk. And as your presiding officer today, I am yet again very happy to see you all here. I hope that we have a good meeting. I am also excited to share that the name of the book that we're going to do this meeting is How to Read a Good Book by this author named Monica, reminding all of us about how to read with value, purpose, and reflection. Honestly, this is something that I really need right now because my agenda to join books and banter was to get back into reading, and it hasn't happened yet, right? So I can say that for people who have not gotten into reading, this is a good start. For people that are reading, I believe it will give you probably a more clearer view of how to read a book well. I don't know what's in store for us, but I'm really excited about the book itself. Now, before we move on and I introduce the Toastmaster of the day, I would like to call upon the guests to introduce themselves. Can we start with Toastmaster Anu Pramod? It's your first time in this meeting with us. Could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, sure. Just a minute. Please close the door. Yeah, it's okay. I hope he doesn't bark. Hello, good evening. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dr. Nisha, for inviting me into this club. I had no clue that there was a club like this. It's amazing. My name is Toastmaster Anu Pramod. I've been a Toastmaster since 2021. I'm in Dubai and I'm part of two clubs. One is a CAF Toastmasters Club, which I joined in 2021. I mean, we chartered it. And last year, my company called Thrive, we started a Toastmasters Club. And yeah, it's a pleasure to be here, and I look forward to learning a lot from all of you. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Shakshi.
Thank you so much. You said that the club is amazing. You're amazing too. Let's move on to Miss Fatma. Miss Fatma, are you here? Okay, no worries. Let's move on to Miss Nupur Misra.
Hi, good evening, everyone
evening.
on Rise. I'm very sorry. I can't open my camera. I don't know what the technical glitch it is. So thank you for inviting me today to be a part of the session of Toastmasters. Books is something very dear to me. I'm a avid reader. So when an opportunity fell on my lap to be a guest in today's meeting, I really jumped into the opportunity of being a part of today's meeting, and thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nupur. And like how you grabbed the opportunity to come here, we also grabbed you and made you come here. Just kidding. Let's move on to Ms. Zahara Tamimi.
Good evening, fellow Toastmaster. My name is Zahra Tamimi. I got invited by the TMOD Toastmaster Nisha, and I'm from Dubai too. And my home club is DIT2, and I'm looking forward for today's meeting.
Thank you so much for being here all the way from Dubai. And let's move to our GE, Toastmaster Sasi Priya. I know people know you here, but it's your first time in this meeting with us, so please go ahead and introduce.
Good evening, everyone. It's amazing to see all the bright faces, and I know the secret behind that is reading books. So absolutely, I'm exploring this avenue and I'm getting a lot of energy after reading books. And Ms. Nupur Misra is the one who has really initiated and really given me that challenging role to get along with her and start reading books. So definitely to know more about it. I was waiting for an opportunity, and that's when Toastmaster Nisha just pinged me saying, "Can you be the general evaluator?" I said a definite yes, I'm coming. And very happy to see Toastmaster Asia. Our connections have been through BRS and now in books and banters. I'm very happy to see you all. Wishing you all the very best. I'm looking forward to a great meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well, to be frank, the secret of my glow is not just reading, but it's also fair and lovely. Just kidding. Let's move on to none other than whose name has already been mentioned 5 times in this meeting, which is our Toastmaster of the day, our MVP, who has gotten so many guests. I think that says enough about her, about how committed she is, but still, I would like to introduce her. An Ayurveda doctor turned entrepreneur from medical background and is now handling marketing of her family and advertising and also a designing company. Also doing custom made, handmade, and herbal skincare products. Whoa. A Toastmaster from 2023, served club roles like Sergeant at Arms and club president. Her motto is believe in yourself and be a person, offering helping hand to lift others along. Well, by inviting so many people, she has already proven how good she is. So I won't take much time and introducing the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Nisha Mohammed. The stage is yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sakshi, for that wonderful introduction. And before moving into the part, let me welcome our guest who just joined, Toastmaster Rania, Area Director from our district. Toastmaster Rania, can you please introduce?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much to TMOD Toastmaster Nisha for acknowledging me. I saw the flyer and I was interested because I am also a book reader. So I thought I will join and see how the meeting goes. So all the very best for the meeting.
Thank you.
You're on mute.
Sorry. So, for the benefit of the guest or Toastmasters who have joined us together, how does Books and Banders function? It's a Toastmaster club, but instead of choosing a theme for a meeting, we decided we will read a book. Not everyone will read the book completely, but by that meeting, we will get an idea of what the book is about, and those who are not read get inspired to read the book. So every meeting, we choose one book, and all the focus is on that particular book. So today, we have chosen How to Read a Book by Monica Wood. So, how many of you have read the book? Please raise your hands. Okay, don't worry, even if you haven't read, you will get an idea what this book is about throughout this meeting. So, what was the title of the book?
How to read a
How
book.
to read a book.
So, what do you think? What might be this book is about?
I pondered around the glimpses and I found out that it is all about like more of emotional connections we make by reading a book rather than just instructing us to read a book.
Exactly. Don't get fooled by the title. This is not any manual on how you should read, how you should approach. No, but this is more about the emotional connections a book can give it to a reader. So, this book is the story of three people whose lives collide after a tragedy. The main character is Violet, a young woman. She served a year in prison for
not a year, 22 months in prison for a drunk driving crash that killed a woman named Lorraine. So Violet is the main character, and at her present time, she get connected with the other important character of the book, Harriet. Harriet is a retired teacher. She is running a book club in the prison. And later, the other third main character come to the story. That is Mr. Frank. Frank is the widower of the lady Violet accidentally killed in that car crash. So these three people get connected through books and how their emotions are happening and how their life over. That is what the core concept of this book. The novel starts with Violet's point of view as she and other inmates was listening to whom they call the bookie, the book lady. That is Harriet. She comes every Friday to the prison with a book which they discuss. And these inmates and Violet, they think their empowerment as complaining about all the books Harriet is bringing. Whatever is the genre, they say this is not good, this is not good. So, naturally, someone should get disappointed, right? She will feel, oh, these guys are questioning my reading ability. Every book I am bringing, they are complaining, this is not good, this is not good. But Harriet was not such a person. She was very patient. Every week, she kept on continuing this, and slowly that made impact on different people. So, now, as any Toastmaster meeting, our meeting also have all the segments. Before that, we have two roles which are very important to run our meeting smoothly. In the novel, there is a beautiful ritual. Violet, after releasing from prison, she works with African grey parrots. So she usually taps on their aviary and listens for a reply. She calls it the rhythm of call and response. It is how trust is built, one steady beat at a time. I believe our first important role player, Timer, performs a similar role tonight. With a steady rhythm of focus and the colorful background, she is going to monitor the speeches and make us be in time. Our timer for today is Toastmaster Asia, who describes herself as a mother, teacher, and an artist who is learning each day how to live life better as a person and finding a new direction to be passionate about every moment. Toastmaster Asia, can you please explain your role?
Good evening, everyone, once more. Yes, my role today is the timer's role. The theme of our meeting may not be a manual to read, how to read. However, my role will help us how to be on time. All right, with that, I'm going to pass on back to our Toastmaster of the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Asia. At the time of each segment, she will be explaining when she will be displaying green, yellow, red. So, coming to the next important role in our meeting, let me get back to the book for a moment. In the book, Harriet runs the book club in the prison. As I mentioned earlier, most of the time they complain about, but still they love to read. And they fell in love with language also. They sometimes speak favorite words such as felicious, melancholy, and savor those. And I had mentioned it about a character, Frank. Do you remember, right? The widower. Later, when he got accustomed to Harriet and to the book club, Frank even keep a small notebook where he writes down beautiful sentences he want to remember. Our grammarian is our guardian of language. The grammarian will listen for phrases that linger in the mind, note any missteps we are taking with care, and remind us that, as Harriet would say, words are gifts we give each other. A word of the day will also be shared to enrich our vocabulary. Our grammarian for today is Toastmaster Dilip Nali, who is a Toastmaster since 2019. He is working with Doha Bank and current District 116 co-chair and district webmaster. Toastmaster Dilip, can you explain your role and tell the word of the day?
Sure, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening all, good evening Toastmasters. As a grammarian today, my role is to help us pay close attention to the beauty of the language we speak today. How words shape our thoughts, speeches, and stories. Since our meeting theme is about how to read a book, I thought it is a fitting to introduce a word that celebrates the love of books, even when they remain unread. So today's word of the day is sundoku. It's a Japanese word that means the act of acquiring books and letting them pile up, which I also have a habit of doing so, without necessarily reading them. So the part of the speech is, it's a noun, can also be used. The pronunciation is sundoku. And example, how can you use this? Her bookshelf is a perfect example of sundoku. Rows of 100 novels waiting for their turn. I encourage everyone to weave this word possibly into your speeches and evaluations today. As a grammarian role, I'll be listening carefully to the language used throughout the meeting. I'll make a note of striking phrases or creative expressions that you make, effect of rhetorical devices, any grammatical slips, so we can all learn together. At the end of the meeting, I'll share my observations when called upon by the general evaluator and highlight how our speakers use the language to inspire us. So as we explore how to read the book, let's also celebrate the joy of owning books, even if they wait patiently for us to read. Remember to sprinkle the word of the day, sundoku, and let's make this meeting a literary feast of language. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dilip. Let me share with you all something. In my apartment, there are two bookshelves. One is a perfect example for sundoku and other is not. One bookshelf is mine, one bookshelf is of my 13-year-old. Can you guess which one is the example of sundoku?
Yours.
Definitely.
Definitely.
So I need to change and be like my daughter. Now, this how to read book. There are so many beautiful quotes, or we can say Harrieta's lessons. The one which strikes me very much is that the writer writes the words, the given reader reads the words, and the book, the unique, unrepeatable book, doesn't exist until the given reader meets the writer on a page. So many books are waiting for us. Let's kick out that Sundoku from our life and start reading more books, right? Now, let us move on to the each segment of our meeting. The first segment is all about prepared speeches. In this book, it is another Harrieta's lesson. She says, when you slow down, you notice more. And when you notice more, you feel more. Most of the time, after I joined Toastmasters, many people ask, do you have this much experience to share as speeches? Do you think every time you will get something connected? This is the answer for that. We all are in a hurry. When you slow down and think about ourselves, you realize you have many stories to share. Some will be inspiring, some will humble you, right? And I'm sure all our Toastmasters here have a bunch of stories awaiting to be shared as speeches. So, in our story, After her prison life, Violet was not at all accepted by her family. So she starts a new job working with African grey parrots and discovers she is far more capable than she believed about herself. I believe our speakers are all the same. They came finding their own voices and telling us a story which might inspire us, right? So let's jump on to our prepared speech segment. Our first speaker is Toastmaster Badreya Al Mohammed. She have already given her introduction, but let me retell. She works in the HMC in blood transfusion department. She is a senior manager and internal auditor. Her motto is practice and continue to do the work for the patient's health and donor's care. And absolutely, I'm stunned how many clubs she are part of. So that cannot include in one intro, right? So the evaluator for Toastmaster Badreya is Toastmaster Sakshi. Toastmaster Sakshi Sukhnani, can you read the speech objectives?
Thank you so much, TMOD. Great going. So, the speech objective for Toastmaster Badria's speech is: the purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. The purpose of the speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. That is it from my side. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day, and best of luck, Toastmaster Badria.
Start.
Yes, Toastmaster Badriya, you can start.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
I'm so sorry, I'd like to interrupt. May I know the timing of the speech, please? I'm supposed to say that, right? For the speech.
5 to 7.
And I will show the color cards accordingly.
It's 5 to
Hello?
7 minutes, please.
It's a 5 to 7 minute speech, Toastmaster Asia.
Thank you. So at green, I will be showing 5, right? And at 6, I'll be showing amber. And at 7, I'll be showing red.
Are you displaying the colors now? Because we couldn't see the colors.
One moment.
Speaker Toastmaster Badriya, please look into Toastmaster Asia's background as she changes the colors of the screen.
Yeah, thank you for the clarify. Thank you. I start now.
Yes, yes.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Toastmaster of the day, President, and follow Toastmaster online. I want to let you to imagine photo, that photo with the 2 men and 1 lady. The men, one of them stand near the wall, and with his one hand in his pocket, and the other hand with the cigarette. And he was confident that lady, she's in a way from him, but he confident that she will come to him again, return to him. But that lady, her head, it is sharpener, and his head is pencil. And the other man, his head is pen. So all the sharpener from the pencil, she used it for hair dressing and dancing happy with the other guy. Why do you think she was happy, and the other man was confident to see she dancing. He knew from the movement during the dancing that message coming to him that she's will come to him again, but actually in her heart and mind she refused to return to him. And the man, the other one, he also confident that that lady will not use her sharpener to يعني to create something and put it in her dressing. This picture just I explained to you, but I don't mean the relationship between them. No, I mean it. I mean that the relationship between us and the clubs, and the Toastmaster club. I found all people welcome for us in the beginning, and sitting with us, guide us until suddenly we found the club without any members. Why do you think that nobody come again like before, like in the beginning when they opened the house? I think because of the how to deal with them. All people should deal with the equality. Not some people, I found them, they are more confident, so I will give them more responsibility. I can give them some like Toastmaster of the day. I can give general evaluator, but the other, let them just to be timer, count, something like this. So people, يعني, I mean, the members here need to develop, need to create, to grow. Why concentrate them or focus them only in the secondary roles? Until I found Toastmaster International develop, and also in the secondary role. They show them not only the essential for the main roles, it is also the branch or the secondary also that important. So there is equality. They leave, يعني, they give everybody the right responsibility, but in the Toastmaster they have to people to try to study what they have to do during the meeting, not only care for the 2 hours. They have to care before the meeting and during and after also. I found people really return to the club because of caring, of asking. If you ask about them, why they disappear, why they not coming again, because of the dealing, how to deal with the people. My concern, if the two men, yani two faces in one coin, it is also yani the many multiple clubs, all of them also, you will find most of them follow like the two faces. But actually, when they sit together, they will understand. No need to do like this, because people, if you make network between them and study the team work, everybody will take the right things to be happy and create many idea, because idea will give you emotion, and after emotion you will get positive result. And this what I want you to take this message, because I feel if you start from beginning, study your action, you will get, of course, the positive responses. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Badreya, for that wonderful speech. As Violet would say, that gave us something worthy to contribute to our mental bookshelves. So, before going to the second speaker, let me take a quick recap. So, can anyone say who are the three main characters of the book?
Harrietta.
Harrietta, one. I need to know who all were listening.
Violet.
Violet.
And Frank. maybe?
James.
Frank. Yeah. Also, there are other characters. These three are the main characters of this book. Violet, as I told, a 22-year-old young woman who served prison 22 months for a hit case as she was drunk and driving. Harrietta was a retired English teacher who ran the book club in the prison where Violet was an inmate. And the third important person, Frank. He was the widower of the lady that was killed in that accident. Frank was a mechanic, but after Violet was released, he met Violet at Henrietta's bookstore. So, what do you think? Will that meetup be all happy, or will be Frank furious? Obviously, the first encounter was not good, but the story is all about how these three lives slowly gets better and better. And at a point of time, Frank left his mechanic job and started to be a handyman at the bookstore. That he said, every role has dignity and purpose. Now, let's listen to speaker number 2 and find what secret she's going to share behind that. I don't know why my this isn't going. That
There is anybody logging in from devices have their mics open.
Have you
Have
logged
you
in
logged
from
in
two
from two
devices?
devices?
no,
No,
I'm
I'm
only
only.
It's
It's
happening for
happening for
everybody.
everybody.
um,
Everyone,
everyone please switch off the mic.
I can
I can
see
see
Toastmaster
Toastmaster
Shehnaz's
Shehnaz's
mic is
mic
on.
is on.
My mic is on. Yes, it is.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
talk
just
on
do you
the
have
first
two
mic.
No, I logged off from the other one. I just got onto this one. I was on a different device in the beginning, but it's been before the speech started. I logged off that one.
Okay, now
Okay, now I think
till it is
till it
echoing.
is echoing.
can
Can
Toastmaster
Toastmaster shut
Shehnaz for a moment?
for a moment?
Toastmaster Shehnaz, if
Toastmaster
you can just
Shehnaz, if you can just mute
for a
Mute
second.
my
for a
okay.
second.
Yeah, for a second.
Yeah, it's for system.
It's your
Yeah.
device.
Oh my God. So what is? I mean, I'm not getting anything. What are you guys getting?
Yeah, no, when you
Yeah, no, when
speak,
you speak,
That's
it's
echo.
We
fine.
are getting the
we are
echo.
getting the echo.
But when we
But
speak,
when
there's
we
a
it's
speak,
live
echoing.
it's echoing.
performance audio on. I don't know if that is because of the recording or what is this live performance use meeting? it says on top where it says record, for me, the live performance audio is on. I don't know what that is. That has never been there. Meeting.
Pause.
It's okay. Once you finish, we will start speaking.
So all of you get
So let's
echoes when
proceed.
I'm speaking or when I
Yeah.
put my mic on?
When you put your
When you
mic
put
on.
your mic on. I'm not getting anything. For me, it's normal.
Let's proceed.
Let's proceed. Okay.
Yeah, so just
Yeah,
for a
so just for
moment,
a
please
moment, please
mute.
mute.
Let me
Let me
finish.
finish.
Okay?
Or should I go back to my phone? Maybe that was better?
No, it's
No,
fine
it's
because you
fine
have to
because you have to
speak.
speak. Yeah, okay.
Let's
Let's
mute you while we are speaking, and then when you speak, we will mute.
Okay, so our speaker number 2. I hope everyone can hear me now. Yeah. Our speaker number 2, Toastmaster Shehnaz Mirza, is an MBA holder, an ex-banker turned film producer. She is mother of 3, a Bollywood patron, and avid traveler. Believes that life is a constant learning journey, a journey from cradle to grave. Wow, it's so heavy. Current president of West Bay Toastmasters Club. So before calling you, let me call the evaluator Toastmaster Anu Pramod to read out the speech objectives.
Good evening, Toastmaster of the Day and my target speaker. I'm definitely guilty of Sundoku because I've got piles of books that I haven't read. My target speaker, Toastmaster Shehnaz Mirza, is attempting her level 2 second project speech from the pathway, engaging humor, and the purpose is to connect with her audience. I would like to read out the purpose statements. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. And she would be practicing the skills that's needed to present a topic that is new or unfamiliar to the club members. Toastmaster Shehnaz, do you have 8 minutes? Do you have 8 minutes, Toastmaster Shehnaz?
Toastmaster Shehnaz.
One out of 8 people today in the world suffer from mental health conditions. This is as per WHO. And this is something extremely alarming, which means around 1 billion people around the world suffer from this. Now, the reason I decided to do this is, of course, all of you guys some of you are very new to me and some of you are not. But the topic, we all have an idea about what mental disorders are, but it's somewhere at the back of our mind. But this is something that we live every day. And there are things that I would like to present to all of you so that you can be more aware, and that will help you regulate to a certain extent this kind of a condition that we all go through it. To start with, I think all of you have heard the name of Simon Sinek. He's American, he's a leadership, motivational talker, keynote speaker basically. He's also authored several books. Now, I heard a very interesting talk that he gave. He was talking in one of his forums where he mentioned that a friend of his once contacted him, and they did not speak at that moment when she wanted to contact him. After a couple of days, they spoke, and she said that I was going through a lot and I reached out to you, but you did not respond. And his immediate response was, what? When did you reach out to me? And he searched on his messaging and he saw a very casual message she sent. She said, do you want to catch up today? Do you have some time and we can catch up? And he probably did not think much of it. He brushed it off and continued. Now, then later on when they met, by that time she had already gotten over, but she was going through a lot of stress, whatever reasons in her life, and she wanted somebody to speak to. That is the time when they decided that Yes, because when you are in that situation, when you have a lot of stress, sometimes we are so anxious, whether it's at work, it's something happening at home with our husbands, something happening with our in-laws. These are normal, we are all from the South Asian community. This is normal. And maybe I think Middle Eastern also this is normal. And when that stress builds up, we need to let go. So that 8 minutes is the time it takes for the stress to get released from you. So then they decided, let's keep the code. Do you have 8 minutes? So that means she is in need desperately to talk. And by that time, they maybe talk it out and it will subside. So that is where I thought that, yes, this is something which I think people should make it normal. Getting friends to know that, yeah, they have the time to support somebody who needs this. And today I'll share 8 points. Let's make it 8 the lucky number today. So I'll share 8 points today. A lot of you may already know what to do in those situations, but this is what I recently came across, and I would like to suggest these things. And in fact, I have a small podcast that I do where one of my guests also came on. She's a clinical psychologist, and this is what she suggested. Number 1, keeping active. No matter what stage in life you are, young, old, you need to keep active, whether it's your exercise, doing things at home, getting out, getting in. Keeping active is very important. And I've seen that in my dad. My dad, mashallah, is 90 plus, and I've seen him always active, even when he was, now he's in the US, but back in Mumbai, when he had the chance to get out and grab something from the market, he would never take a taxi or a bus or the car. He would walk. So if you can do anything, walk. If nothing else is possible, just walk. Because walking for 30 minutes a day can reduce the depression symptoms by 36%. This is as per Mental Health Foundation. Number 2, eating well. We all know we should eat well. Now, one of my guests on my show said that, what do you eat? The quantity. So she suggested that this should be the amount of fruit, salads and veggies that you should have, the entire palm size. This should be the amount of carbs you should have. This is for one meal. This, your rotis or rice. And this part in your palm, this area is your meat, your proteins. And then if you're still hungry after all that, then go for a double layer of this rather than going for, and you can also go for the for salads rather than going for the carbs. So this is the point that I want to share in terms of eating. Number 3, getting enough sleep. And I was somebody who loved my sleep till my babies came along and the sleep went for a toss. But now the babies have grown up. My eldest one is 22 and the rest are 20 and 17. So get enough sleep. Another thing, what we can do at that time is go by the 10-3-2-1 rule. Another guest of mine gave this. 10 hours before you sleep, no caffeine. 3 hours before you sleep, get over with your food. 2 hours before you sleep, no screens. And 1 hour before, everything should be dark dim. So 10-3-2-1. This is what you can add on to your sleep routine. And 4th is that we can take small breaks, whether it's your work, whether sometimes we are very hyper at work, something has happened. Take that little break, 5 minutes, just step out, get some fresh air, get some breath of life. If it's at home also, take those short breaks. And number 5, if we are able to accept what is happening, if you are able to accept our situation, don't compare yourself, don't put yourself in positions or situations where you unnecessarily stressed. If you know something is meant to be, whether it's in the deepest oceans or in the highest mountains, and it reaches you, you will be more or less very accepting to your surrounding, to your people, to the competition and everything. So number 5, do that. And number 6, be mindful. Mindful means, for example, if you're doing a chore at home, you're folding, just put all your mind into that. You're folding clothes, see how the clothes are getting folded neatly and things like that. And number 7, communicate. This is a platform where we're communicating right now, so do that off and on. And lastly, have fun. Do skills. Number 8, Toastmasters is a new skill. Take up hobbies and things like that. So overall, these are the points which I would share with all of you today so that all of you also can go and lead stress-free lives. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shehnaz. It was the one. So now let's move on. So our prepared speak segment is over. Since we are meeting online, sorry, Toastmasters, there is no samosa snacks break. We are literally jumping to our another segment. This is the most interesting segment, everyone says, right? But today I am little bit eager because today we are trying something different. So this is a book club, so everything the Toastmaster of the day try to connect with the book we are focusing, right? So in these books, in the start, Violet was a prisoner, right? So Harrietta was running a book club. So there the inmates, they used to play a game, quite similar to our next segment. There the game is, what will I do if I get out? So that's the prompt, and they have to speak about this. So now you all know what segment I am talking about. Obviously, the table topics. And why I said it today I'm eager, because the person who is conducting this segment is the backbone of this club. This is her brainchild. She is the one who keeps on pushing each of us to this club move to the next level, and who comes up with different sorts of ideas to make each meeting has its own value. Working as a senior data intelligence specialist at Qatar Research Development and Innovation Council, she joined Toastmasters in October 2022 to improve her leadership and communication skills and make lifelong connections along the way. Currently, she is serving as District Club Growth Award Chair and Assistant Division E Director, Program Quality. She is a winner of Toastmaster of the Year 2023-2024 and was recognized as Powerhouse Performer by the District 116 in 2024-2025. Her motto, hard work always pays, focus on giving your best to whatever you do, rewards will follow. And we all can agree. Currently, she acquired the highest educational position in Toastmasters, our own distinguished Toastmaster, our club's backbone, our club secretary. Currently, she is the one who is behind the beautiful flyers and all the marketing things you are seeing. I'm just only in the name as their VP marketing. So let's welcome our dearest distinguished Toastmaster, Amina Khanum, as the table topics master.
Thank you so much for that really warm introduction, Toastmaster Nisha. Yes, maybe I'm doing the flyers, but you are the one who brought in all the guests. That's what matters. And team works, the dream works, right? All right, so let's dive right into our very exciting table topic session today. This is a first in Books and Banters, where we are actually going to discuss the book like a regular book club, but in Toastmasters style. Now, those of you who haven't read the book may be a little worried, but don't worry at all, I would say. Here at Books and Banters, we encourage you to read the book. We give you a little teaser, and then hopefully after our meeting, you would definitely go and get your own copy of How to Read a Book and dive right in. So shall we begin? About table topics. Since everyone here is a Toastmaster, you all know that we will give a question. The table topics master will give you a question and you will answer. You have 1 to 2 minutes to answer, and the timer will show the green light at 1 minute. At 1 minute 30 seconds, the amber light, At 2 minutes, the red light. And you have a grace timing of 30 seconds, and then you need to stop. Now, coming back to our table topic session, I am obsessed these days with a new tool, and this is my bestie these days, which is Claude. And I had the fun, I did a fun project with it to actually develop our table topics app for today. So friends, I'd like you all to join me in clapping for my beautiful app, which is going to actually lead the discussion today. This is Page Chapter Character, an invention by Books and Banter Toastmasters, where we will play table topics. Now, this particular app today is based on the book itself. As you know, the book has around 31 chapters. Each chapter gives you the perspective of our three main characters, which is Victoria, Violet, Harriet, and Frank. Now, I need you all to just tell me in the chat from what you have heard so far, and if you have read, who is your favorite character? Very quickly, you have 2 seconds. Frank, Violet, or Harriet? From whatever you've heard so far. Okay, Asya says Harriet. Violet. Yes, thank you, Nupur. Thank you, Sakshi. Okay, I'm going to give you all the time to think while I attack these two first. Let's go with Sakshi, who chose Violet. Sakshi, can you please pick a number from here so that I can give you your question?
Because I'm always number 1 and I'm evaluator 1, so 1.
Wonderful. So, Violet's final choice. At the end of the book, Violet, looking back over an entire long life, chooses one moment to define her. Pouring warm water over Donna Lynn's hair in Harriet's bathtub, she says, "My name was Violet Powell. I took a life, I lived and died. Meanwhile, I was loved." So if you had to choose one moment from your life so far, not the biggest, but the most defining, which would you choose and why? If you had to choose one moment from your life so far, not the biggest, but the most defining, which would you choose and why?
How many a times have you truly felt ungrateful and were humbled by life? Can you raise your hand? Wow, just one person. Oh, 2 people. Okay. Let me take you back to when I, the 15-year-old spoilt brat, was humbled. I think everybody knows one story right now, that is, I got a disease when I was 15. I was admitted in the hospital for 15 days. And I remember reading this group chat of my friends who were in 11th grade, and they were discussing books and how to conquer that quiz that was coming up. I remember watching the phone, reading the chats, and telling my father and mother that I feel that I've been wronged. All my friends are so happy, hale, and hearty, and here I am in the hospital, bleeding almost every day. And then, few years later, I was in the hospital with a flare up. and I saw something that changed my mind forever. There was a lady next to me in my ward, about 60 years old. Her weight was 31 or 32, and she was crying throughout because she was highly diabetic and her wounds were not healing. And then I asked the nurse, what happened? Why was she crying so much? You know what the nurse said? She said that we had to cut one of her legs off because of how much the diabetes had spread. That is when I realized that even though I am going through a disease, but at least it was not as worse as hers. At least I was able to walk. So, fellow Toastmasters, please don't be like me. Try to find gratitude in everything because you never know who's having it more worse than you. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Let's have a huge round of applause, and I need to see those emojis on the screen. Bring in your claps for that wonderful, moving answer from Toastmaster Sakshi, and a great reminder for us all to be grateful. Grateful for whatever situation we're in, grateful for whatever we have. Moving on to our next. Okay, I have Toastmaster Nupur who said Harriet. Toastmaster Nupur, would you like to participate?
Yeah, sure.
Brilliant.
Please,
So
thank you.
let me share my screen once again to help you choose the question. Please choose which chapter would you like to see?
It would be chapter 5.
Brilliant. Okay, so chapter 5 was narrated by Harriet. But let's see what our question says. Every book club meeting begins with the women chanting an invocation. I am a reader, I am intelligent, I have something worthy to contribute. Harriet ensures that the prisoners say this in every meeting. So, compose a 3-line invocation that you would want to say at the start of every day and share that with us. A 3-line invocation that you would want to say at the start of every day. Over to you.
Good evening, Toastmasters, once again. And my thing will be the reading of books gives you the power to intimidate others on what you think. It gives you the perception of others. You would get to know about how the others perceive the same line, the same chapter, the same book. And finally, I would say in the morning, I would always count on my blessings for everything that had been devoured on me, and will always make use of those blessings always. With that, thank you.
You still have time, so I would ask again.
Sure.
3 words you would tell yourself as words of affirmation. Like Harriet says, I am beautiful, I am intelligent. What would you tell yourself in the morning?
I would say I am intelligent. I would say I am helpful. I would say I just want to change. I want to change in a better person from what I am today. As a better person, what I'll see myself as tomorrow. And that's what will make me grow.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nupur, for your participation and your kind words. From my side, I would say I'm happy, I'm healthy, and I am enough. And let's go on to our next speaker. That would be Toastmaster Nisha, who chose Harriet. Toastmaster Nisha, would you like to participate?
I think you can give chance to others because I am talking a lot.
No worries. Then we have Toastmaster Dilip. Toastmaster Dilip, you liked Frank, the only male character in the book. As our only male member, we would like you to share your thoughts. Would you like to participate?
Yeah, sure.
Perfect. So let me share the screen for your question. Correction, he's not our only male member. We have another one too, but who's not here today. But our only male member who always shows up. So Toastmaster Dilip, which chapter would you like to see?
Chapter 9.
I can't hear you.
Chapter 9.
Chapter 9. So chapter 9 was narrated by Violet. Now in the book, 2 hours once a week, Harriet says of book club, it's the only classroom, if you can call it that, where I feel time moving the way it ought. When it's just us discussing a book, existing exactly as we wish to. Where or with whom does time move the way it ought to for you? Where or with whom does time move the way it ought to for you?
Time. Yes, time is the only dimension which human beings always try but never conquer, could make the time machine. And yes, people say, I don't have time or I have enough of time. But we all have, irrespective of whether we are having, wherever part of the world we are living, rich or poor, everyone has got the same 24 hours. And at times, when we're with our loved ones, or when we have the best moments of life, we feel the time flies. And it seems we want the time to be standing still at that point in time. Coming to the other side, if we flip the chart, flip the time, where we are going through difficult times, those are the times you feel like why the time is not moving, why the clock is still, why these bad times are still not moving, why are they not ending. So it's all a perception, because the time is going at its own pace. It's only thing how we are feeling in our minds. When we feel happy, we want the time to be there for a longer time, to be there forever. But when we're sad or we are going through difficult situations, we feel that we have enough time and time is not moving fast, or we are not getting a better chance of time. So in a way, time is always there still. It's how effectively and how happy we make use of the time matters the most.
Let's have those claps on the screen. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dilip, for that insightful point of view. Yes, time for me, I think runs like it ought to when I'm in book clubs. I truly, truly enjoy conversations about books and stories and just escaping the real world and talking about somebody else's life in a positive, constructive way. Do we have time for one more speaker? Asya, you said something? You're on mute. I think we can go with one more speaker.
Yes, you have room for one.
Okay, perfect. So anyone would like to volunteer and take up this? Yes, Toastmaster Rania. Elliot, thank you for volunteering. And here's your question. Okay, which chapter would you like to see?
chapter 24.
Four. Perfect. The fellow creatures idea. So Harriet, the book lady, tells the women of her prison book club that in order for reading to become an exercise in empathy, it helps to think of all the characters in all the books as fellow creatures. Desiree adds, even the ones we hate with the fiery, excuse me, I'm not going to read out the language on the screen, but even the ones we hate. So tell us about a character in a book or a film you initially despised, really hated, but eventually came to understand as a fellow creature. What changed your mind? Tell us about a character in a book or film you initially despised, but eventually came to understand as a fellow creature. What changed your mind?
The very interesting question. I would say there was a book I read recently, and it was based on a true story. It's the book name's The Frozen Lake, I think. And there was a lady which was initially very stubborn. She would not listen to anyone and would do whatever she thinks is right. So I was like, what is wrong with her? She never listens to anyone, and she's so adamant at what she's doing. So I did not like her at the beginning of the story, but obviously the story was built around her because she was the main character in the story. But as the story moves on, and it was how she sides with the justice, and everyone was against her, and how she shows strength and bravery, and she remains adamant at what she is saying is right, and she has to like, no matter what everyone is saying, the whole village was against her. She had to face so much backlash because the ones she was standing against were powerful people. But what I did not like at the beginning about her, I loved why those characteristics actually made her who she was, and how she came out triumphed at the end of the story. So at the end of the story, I just loved her, and I commended her courage for standing up with the justice and not caring about anything else. So that was what I liked. Sorry, I don't remember the name of the character, but that is the main character in the book. Maybe I will search and write in the chat. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and back to you, to Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rania. Let's have that huge round of applause and fill the screen with claps, because Toastmaster Rania, yes, there are so many characters in books books or movies who we have some assumptions about when we start off, and then by the time we finish and we're done with the movie or the book, we actually end up loving them. And I'm going to take one more minute because Toastmaster Nisha, because we have in our presence our District Club Growth Director, DTM Iman Salami, and I would like to acknowledge her presence and invite her to just say a few words for our guests today. DTM Iman, the screen is all yours.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Amina Khanum, for your invitation to be part of you today. I'm very happy to see all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. How are you doing today? Yes, today we have a special day, how to read a book. Actually, we need the skill of reading. Actually, many Toastmasters, they miss this skill. It's very important to our life to be a good speaker. We should read a lot of books and enhance our knowledge. It's very important that to have the knowledge in our speech, to share experience and these things. I'm very happy that we have new faces today, and we have as guests. How many guests we have today? How many guests? One, two, two
Five,
guests.
I think.
Five.
Five?
Yeah.
Five. Oh,
Two.
perfect. Perfect. I'm very happy that you are in the right place to, I will not say enhance your reading skill, but to enhance public speaking and your leadership. Here in this environment, we learn a lot and we have a good leaders. They are supporting us to be a good communicator and a better a leader to discover our a new vision of ourselves. That's lovely to meet all of you and just enjoy the club, be a member with us, and show the world how much you are talented in reading. Back to you, our table topic master, Toastmaster Amina.
Thank you so much,
Thank
DTM
you.
Iman, for joining us today despite your busy schedule. And that's it from my side. I will hand over the control back to our dynamic TMOD. Over to you, Nisha.
Thank you, DTM Amina Khanum, for that wonderful table topic session. Now, our guest might have realized what I said in the intro was not an intro. Look how excitement she brings to each meeting and coming up new things. She is literally the backbone for our club. So, just like our energetic Toastmaster, table topic master, let's come back to the book. So Harrietta is the one who is running the book club, right? So it was a ritual for her to introduce new books. But she always said her, maybe we can say students, that stories have a meanwhile, an important thing happening beneath the surface while the main plot moves along. Tonight, we listen to speeches, we listen to different opinions on topics. But did we look for the meanwhile? The main plot, the twist, the energy, everything was happening on the surface. But there is always something under the layers, right? So now we are coming to that segment which will help us to understand more deeper what all did we miss, where all we can be improved. And that comes to the evaluation and feedback session. So, our evaluators, under the control of the general evaluator, will do this task. They will help us see and shape the layers we might have missed and bring a new face to it the next time. Today, we have our general evaluator, a Toastmaster for over 10 years. Toastmaster Shashipriya, she helps people find their voice, refine their presence, and communicate with impact. She is a confidence and communication skill coach, helping individuals speak with clarity, confidence, and presence. She trains professionals in public speaking, interview skills, networking, and executive communication with special focus on empowering women in business to find their voice and expand their influence. She is a proud member of Barsha Toastmasters Club from District 127. She has served various leadership level at club area. She was the area director in 2019 and 2020. She is contest champion and she is also associated with book club and women empowerment initiative because she believes powerful communications begin with powerful thinking. So, with a round of applause, let's welcome our general evaluator, Toastmaster Shashipriya, to take over the evaluation segment.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nisha, our Toastmaster of the day. So, Toastmaster of the evening, we should call it today. It's a great honor and privilege to be the general evaluator of this wonderful meeting. What we have been witnessing, amazing. So to move forward with, as a general evaluator, what is my role? So the person I think what DTM Rania was going through the topic which she dealt with, the person in the scene whom you all will dislike would be me. So I'll be observing from the beginning till the end of the meeting. Finally, when I leave my comments in a later segment, definitely you will realize there is some value that I have added to this meeting. And with me, there are two people who are teaming up today. So I'm not alone finding fault. So now we have two evaluators who are in my team now. So Toastmaster Badreya, our first speaker, who did a project from Persuasive Influence Path, Level 1, Project 4, with the speech title, Two Faces, One Coin, will be evaluated by Toastmaster Shakshi Sukhnani. So let me introduce the evaluator now. Toastmaster Shakshi Sukhnani is a passionate Toastmaster who began her journey in 2021. Professionally, she holds a degree in banking and fintech, bringing a sharp analytical mindset to her leadership roles. Guided by her personal motto, push to succeed, she continues to inspire fellow Toastmasters to strive for excellence. She has served as Area 13 Director in 2024-25 and currently serving as Assistant Division D Director, Program Quality. Over to you, Toastmaster Shakshi.
With your permission, General Evaluator Sasipriya, may I also state the timing taken by the first speaker?
Of course, yeah.
Yes. It was 4 minutes, 58 seconds taken by Toastmaster Badreya. Evaluator, please note. Thank you.
Thank you so much, timer. Two sides of one coin. Choose the wiser one. This is exactly what I understood from Toastmaster Badreya's speech today. Toastmaster Badreya, you have given us a hard-hitting reality of what happens behind the glory of Toastmasters. I must say that there were certain areas you completely excelled at. The first one being the hook. When you started off with talking about imagine a photo, imagine a girl dancing, I was immediately hooked into what is going to come next. I loved the usage of metaphor, the sharpener, the pen, the pencil, and also the two faces to one coin. You don't hear it much, but I like how you incorporated that with your story. It was also, as I said initially, a very, very eye-opening speech. Role of people who manage the meeting and the people who participate in the meeting. So kudos to you on that. With that being said, just like how this was one side of the coin, this is the another side, which is what you have to work on. Toastmaster Badreya, the speech was good, you were amazing, but sometimes I could only see the half of you. So it's better that you put a camera in a position wherein we can see your whole body and your gestures because it helps us connect more to what you're saying. Now I'll further divide my evaluation into content and delivery. Content wise, explain how the story is connected to Toastmasters. Explain that who is the pencil, pen, and sharpener in Toastmasters. Two faces to one coin. Tell us who are these faces or which faces are related to Toastmasters. Because somewhere or the other I was confused. Are you in favor of how Toastmaster works or are you not? So if you could just enlighten us on these metaphors and how they connect to your story, there'll be better clarity. One more thing. The speech being eye-opening, I believe it has good space for call to action. You can end the speech by telling us that. So decide what kind of Toastmaster do you want to be. Also, You can include a personal story. What you have said is very, very crucial. So tell us, have you ever seen this happening in Toastmasters? Incorporate some personal stories so that we connect with you more. With regards to delivery, a lot of times it felt like talking, that you were just talking to us. Whilst we like it, a speech needs emotion, gestures, both physical and facial. When you're happy, when you're telling us about the girl dancing, show it to us. Be happy. When you're sad and questioning us, that why do people who are not good at speaking English get secondary roles, show that you're sad. Question us. Why, Toastmasters? Why? So, with that being said, overall, good hooks, good imagery created, and good metaphors. Connect the metaphors to the story clearly, have good vocal variety and gestures, and that's it. You're good to go. Present this in your second speech with these improvements, and that is how you challenge yourself. Back to you, GE.
Thank you very much, Toastmasters Sakshi. Now, moving on to our second speaker's evaluator. So, our second speaker was Toastmaster Shehnaz. She spoke from the path Engaging Humor, Level 2, Project 2. Speech title was Do You Have 8 Minutes? So she will be evaluated by Toastmaster Anu Pramod. Toastmaster Anu Pramod has been in Toastmasters arena since 2021, member of Thrive and AKCAF TMC, Toastmasters Club. And it's quite interesting. Wife of one husband, mother of 2 boys and a dog, runs Thrive Training and Consulting, a soft skills training company. Life motto is to help others realize their potential and find their purpose. Let's listen to Toastmaster Anu Pramod. Over to you, Toastmaster Anu Pramod.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you so much, Toastmaster Sasithya, for that introduction. 1 out of 8 people have mental health issues. That's a statistics that should really alarm us. 1 out of 8 people around us could probably be going through something that we have no clue what they're going through. Good evening, once again. It is said that feedback is actually a compass for greatness. It tells you what to avoid, what to learn, and where to excel. That's actually a quote by somebody called Henrik Sider. And Toastmaster Shehnaz Mirza did a fantastic job of bringing to us such wonderful information about mental health. Apart from the fact that I mentioned right now, she spoke of Simon Sinek, and she had narrated a couple of anecdotes about people that she knew who probably, if they had got help at the right time, would have maybe come out of their situations earlier. She was very clear, very articulate about the way that she spoke, and she had gestures. She also gave us 8 points on how to beat issues that we have with our mental health. And she was very clear about each of those points. She was very in detail. She went through it all, and she told us that 8 minutes of your time is all that you need to overcome stress. Do you have 8 minutes? That's what she asked us through her speech. Wonderful speech. Her objective was to connect with the audience and to bring about a topic that can challenge the audience and something that's very unfamiliar with the audience. So a very good attempt is what I would say to Toastmaster Shehnaz. Coming to areas, in my humble opinion, that you could probably have improved. Typically, we stand up while giving a speech, and I wish you were standing up so we could have seen more of your body and more of the gestures and some vocal varieties. 1 out of 8 is an alarming statistic, like I said. And if your vocal variety had been, if your voice had been different when you throw it out and challenge people, so that people sit up and take notice of those facts. And one point that I really thought would connects to your purpose is mental health is a topic that people have been discussing ever since COVID. So was it really a challenging or unfamiliar topic? Is something that we can debate. To me, it's a topic that I face every day. And so probably it's not challenging. Maybe there are some people in the audience who found it challenging. Maybe next time you could take up something better. But overall, amazing speech. You had vocal variety, you had good articulation, clear. Gestures were good. I wish you stood up, and I wish that you had maybe taken a slightly more challenging topic to challenge each one of us. But all the very best to you, Toastmaster Shehnaz. Back to you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Shashik.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anu Pramod. So now it is time to receive the observations from our support or leadership role players. So may I, with the permission of Toastmaster of the Day, may I request the timer to first give away the timings?
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Yes, I will now be giving the timings only for the evaluation, right?
Yes.
Yes. So the first speeches evaluator, Toastmaster Sakshi, took 3 minutes and 27 seconds. For the second speech evaluator, Toastmaster Anu Pramod, took 3 minutes and 25 seconds.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Asia. Now, moving on to our grammarian and word master. Can we have the report? You're not audible, Toastmaster Dilip.
Yeah, am I audible now?
No, it's very feeble.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry. Moving on for the first speaker of the meeting, that's the TMOD. She has used very interesting many phrases from the book as well. So one such couple of things which I noted is we all have many stories to share. Every role has dignity and purpose. Speaker one mentioned a couple of nice phrases, right responsibility. And one correction is, I want you to take this message instead of that. Okay, I want to give a message, or I want to leave a message to you, all of you. Evaluated, TMOD used the word of the day twice, and evaluators two also use the word once. Moving on, speaker two, take those short breaks. Instead of saying those, you can just say take short breaks. Table topic speaker mentioned count on my blessings. We can instead of say count my blessings. The words will help me grow. That words. So she mentioned. And so that it could be those words will help me grow. And table topic speaker 4 mentioned spoke. There was a lady which was very stubborn. It could be there was a lady who was stubborn. And she also mentioned spoke. She remains adamant at what she says, which could be in a better way of grammatical ways. She is adamant about what she speaks or says. Evaluator 1 use the word. Good usage of the word is the metaphor, which is very is an adjective. And the speech being eye-opening. Instead of that, could be the speech being an eye-opener. With regards to delivery, instead of that, it could be in regards to the delivery or with regard to the delivery. So that's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dilip, our grammarian for the evening. Do we have an hour counter for the meeting?
No, Toastmasters, Supriya.
Okay, so let me now move on with my duty. So today, the meeting was opened at 7:05. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sakshi. So you had the generous attitude of waiting for 5 more minutes to get all the other participants who were joining, and you started the meeting. There was a little bit of swapping of role when we were present here, and Toastmaster Asia became the Sergeant at Arms. Fine, but it was gently and very effectively done. And thank you very much, Toastmaster Amina, for reminding. And it took over very well. Acting President, Toastmaster Sakshi. So it's not an easy task. I'm not mentioning this as a flaw in the meeting, but how you handled the situation. There can be some background work done prior to the meeting, which will solve all these confusions, last minute confusions. But definitely, Toastmaster Asia could do her best by bringing in the PowerPoint presentation, and it was like all lit up, giving us an idea about the Toastmasters meeting and what are the ground rules. So thoroughly, I loved that presentation, and I think everybody would have got an idea about it, clear-cut idea about the meeting, the flow of the meeting. Moving on to the presidential address. Thank you, Toastmaster Sakshi, for wearing too many hats today, but definitely you never let off any of the hats fall down. It was definitely a fantastic juggling of roles, but you did it well. A big round of applause. Introducing the guests, welcoming everyone, that warmth we felt starting from the beginning till the end. Thank you very much to every one of you, and especially to the acting president. What more can be done is that you can give us an overall scenario of like where you stand as a club in your division, in the district division area. So a little bit more you can educate. And about the paths, I found that in your agenda, it's really good. Now there is a little bit changes and we have 6 paths, right? So you have mentioned all these details in your agenda. But when as a presidential address, when you are doing that rule, definitely throw light on these parts so that the new members and guests get to know about it. Thank you very much. Well played. Now, introduction of the TMOD happens. And who is the TMOD over there? What role does she play? I was like taken back to my nostalgic memories where the bedtime stories happen, with mom or sister sitting beside me, opening the book and slowly getting through each and every page. You did a great job. Let us give her a big round of applause, our Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Nisha. So we could understand you have done each and every page with a lot of patience, and you have understood. Really, if you have to impart it to us, then you have thoroughly read it. And that's where this kind of a knowledge you are able to throw light to that, whatever role you have taken, and to the audience. So we are really grateful for all the efforts that you have put in. The flow of the meeting was very good as TMOD was explaining every part of the meeting, as well as very good introductions for every role player. You never missed on getting the introduction. That is very important in a meeting, which you did diligently, and keeping track of the time. So a meeting which goes beyond the expected time limit is something like it is later part of the day also, and we all are getting tired eventually. So definitely you all met all the requirements of like keeping that whip in your hand and maintaining time limits as required. Thank you very much for that. And every role player had been well informed about their role. That is the beauty of the meeting. And that is where we all get truly involved in what is the discussion going on. So thanks for that. Timer, grammarian. I wish there should have been an R counter also, because being a general evaluator, I'll escape that whatever scrutinizing will happen in the R counter role. But definitely we need an R counter where these role players are going to be the leadership role players, and they are going to give you that feedback for refining your speech and how you're going to present it to your audience. So more effectiveness we can expect in the future speeches. So thank you very much for doing that role. Moving on to the speaking segment. Thanks to both the speakers who brought in very good topics to discuss. And it's like a tough situation when we are doing it online. It's not that like everything will work according to our expectations, but they did manage to do that. So let's give them a big round of applause for taking up the challenge of doing the speech. And Toastmaster Badreya, already you have been evaluated by Toastmaster Sakshi very well. And my job is not to evaluate you now, but to evaluate your evaluator. So I really liked it, like how you presented two faces and one coin. So most of us, we do that, right? So now coming on to, she also stressed in her speech, these leadership role players are playing an important role in a Toastmasters meeting. Didn't you say that? So every role is very important, and it's shaping you up to become a very effective speaker. So now moving on to the role played by our evaluator. Fantastic observation. You had given her step-by-step points to improve on and do a much better way of presenting her speech. It's very difficult when you have very good speakers presenting on stage and find the improvement areas. And you did a great job today, effectively giving her the right suggestions. One suggestion that I would like to add to whatever suggestions you have given is, she already told Toastmaster Badreya that you have to adjust the camera in such a way that at least we can see till your chest, and we can understand what you are trying to, like with your actions, the emotions that you're trying to express. More than that, one more thing, what you can try to excel is that try to stand and speak. So whatever you are going to express is like we can visualize. So that story is going to be like very much embedded in our memory for a long time. And that call to action should be like more effective. So only these things that I wanted to add to whatever evaluation has been given by Toastmaster Sakshi. Now moving on to our second speaker, Toastmaster Shehnaz. Thank you for bringing in that topic. Do you have 8 minutes? So I was wondering, so is she going to ask us 1 more minute to speak? And is it going to be a longer speech? Now it's my duty to evaluate your evaluator, Toastmaster Anu. Toastmaster Anu, thank you very much. You had given a very clear-cut suggestion for your speaker, like attempting to stand and speak, giving her the idea to bring in a topic which will be like very much suiting to the purpose of the speech. So all these suggestions have been really like the technical part of it. You had analyzed and you had given a very good suggestions. And to the speaker, a little bit of like throw of emotions. And because in Toastmasters, we try to practice the extreme level of like speaking scenarios so that wherever we go, we can modulate and speak according to the audience. So that is where we have to be like practicing all types of requirements which are told for a speech. So a little bit of vocal variety and trying to stand and speak, as your evaluator had mentioned. So I really appreciate both the evaluators for putting forth all the technical requirements for the speech and giving it a very, quality evaluation. So kudos to both the evaluators on that. Did I miss out on the table topics segment? Table topics, Master Amina. What a research you have done. Hats off to you. So reading through the book, giving each one a scenario from the book, and then giving a connecting topic. So it was like well thought, because she wanted to include everybody in the meeting, those who have read and those who have not read the book. One suggestion for you is let it be a quick and crisp one. So when you give the topic, if it is a one-liner, then it would be like easy for the member or the guest to remember and then speak on that. If it goes to 3 lines and to recollect, so time saving, we can think about saving on time by giving crisp ones, and which is easily like people are able to understand and revert. So thank you very much for that. Bringing in very innovative and thoughtful topics. All the participants, you had taken up the challenge and done that. Even I thought for a moment which character I should opt for, but everybody who volunteered, hats off to you. So you had taken up the challenge and you had literally won our hearts. So have I covered all the role players?
Yes.
So thank you very much for the word Sundoku. So today, attending this meeting, I will not pile up like Sundoku, lot of books and not reading. I would go back and read all the books that you are suggesting in your meetings. Thank you so much. And over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shashipriya, for that wonderful general evaluation covering all the role players and giving us the needed feedback that we will take forward. So, before signing off from my job as Toastmaster of the evening, let me get you some more tidbits from the books, right? So, I'm sure now all of you are familiar with the 3 main characters, Violet, Harrietta, and Frank. There are some supporting characters, of course, coming here at the one is Vicky, who is Violet's judgmental sister, then Sophie, Harriet's protective niece, then Donlin, a woman with Harriet's become a lifelong friend. Such supporting characters are coming here and there. But this book is all about how 3 of them, Violet, Harriet, and Frank, they travel through all this trauma and how their life get better. So in this story, so many different books are mentioned. For example, one is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, then Ethan Front by Edith Wharton, then House on Mango Street by Sandra Scenario. So many, but we can see all these have some connections. Let me say the key themes. I believe the healing power of books. Reading fosters empathy and allows characters to see their own lives from a new perspective. Then, forgiveness. The novel focuses on forgiving yourself and accepting that people are complex. Then, founding family. It argues that connection can be found in the most unlikely places, regardless of past mistake, like how Violet's mistake had caused a death to the beloved of Frank, but he also found love. So, the key points: the crash. Lorraine's death is the wound that drives the entire plot. The bookstore confrontation, when Frank sees Violet and lunges at her, forcing them to eventually face their shared trauma. Harriet's firing, when prison officials fire Harriet for accepting small gifts from inmates, it provides how the system dehumanizes people. And Frank comforts Harriet, leading to a bond between them. That's how every three of them get healed. Now, the final. Already our DTM Amina had mentioned this in the table topics, but let me tell you again. The books end with the beautiful words. My name was Violet Powell. I took a life. I lived and died. Meanwhile, I was loved. This suggests that while the story is a tragedy, the meanwhile was very important. The takeaway I will tell each of you is that find always that meanwhile. Don't think your life doesn't has any importance. Each day gives you something, meanwhile, which you are not looking, maybe. Slow down. Understand all the meanwhiles happening in your life. Love and cherish each moment. And now, over to you, our presiding officer, Toastmaster Shakshi Sukhnani.
May we have a round of applause for our very own Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Nisha. Let me tell you something. Unlike other Toastmasters meeting where a theme is announced and you can say something about it, this one I believe is particularly harder because to do the job well, you need to understand the book well and you have to read it because it is your responsibility to impart something of value to both who have read it and not read it. So I don't know how it is for you guys, but I know that this job is very difficult, and it is only because of Toastmasters like you, Toastmaster Nisha, that this whole process looks, feels, and sounds so easy. So a big round of applause to you. What a beautifully handled session. I am in awe and I'm super grateful that you were the Toastmaster of the day. Thank you for stepping in and doing the role so earnestly. With that being said, I hope that all of us have gotten how to read a book well, and more than that, how to deal with people that are not really present just in our books, but outside in the world. I believe that this story is a very beautiful reminder of how everybody comes from different backgrounds, and that is why when we deal with people, when we treat people, we should just see them as people and not wear any glasses of judgment. That was indeed very refreshing and very, very profound. Thank you yet again. And before I officially adjourn the meeting, I would like to take feedback from our guests. We still have Toastmaster Nupur. So, Toastmaster Nupur, can we hear from you?
Hi. It had been really a lovely meeting. I enjoyed the book as well as this had been a book club, so it created a bridge to connect all of us, which I feel, and that's very important. I can see the passion of passion of reading, and this is something amazing because we feel we are losing out on a reading habit in today's world, and we need to cherish it and keep it safe so that we are kind of we are torch holders, so we can just let this habit of reading get into the coming generation. We can, so this is really amazing. Love to hear though I haven't read the book and come to this meeting, but I thoroughly enjoyed as it was presented to me as if I have read the book already, the characters and everything. So indeed, it was a lovely evening. I really learned many things out of it. Thank you so much for making me a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nupur. Now let's move on to our evaluator, Toastmaster Anu.
Thank you so much. I did enjoy this session. We often talk about bringing back that habit of reading, but when you have a club that enforces it in a sense, but you really have to work on that habit, because I think, like somebody mentioned, Toastmaster Nisha really had to read that book in order to do it. So I think it's a wonderful way of getting the habit back, and it's just lovely to be a part of this club. All the very best to all of you.
Thank you so much. Let's move on to Toastmaster Rania. How did you feel about the meeting?
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this meeting. And thank you so much, Toastmaster Shashi Priya, for inviting me to attend this meeting. Because as everyone said that this is something which connects us all here. And I would definitely say that how the session was conducted by Toastmaster Nisha, it was really amazing. The transitioning, how she has researched and talked about relevant part, and then bringing in the relevant segment, amazing job done. So I really enjoyed the meeting, and I would definitely love to attend future meetings also. So please add me to your guest group, and I would be happy to be part of this club.
Right. Also, I would like to ask our very beloved GE, Toastmaster Sasi Priya.
Thank you very much. And credit goes to Toastmaster Nisha, who had invited me for this meeting, and really grateful to every member, like how you have contributed in this meeting. Really, you have educated all of us. And as I told you, I have just begun to read books, which I had left long back now. Toastmaster Nupur was the one. She's running a book club actually. On a different note, we meet fortnightly. And it's a fantastic move by her, which I really thoroughly enjoy attending every meeting. Now, joining you all, it seemed like how differently we can do it in a Toastmasters meeting. And you all carried it out very well. So thoroughly enjoyed. Very
Thank you
happy
so
to be a part.
much.
I just want to say something. For your information, Toastmaster Sasi Priya, you did compliment about the PPT for the Sergeant at Arms. That also is the fruit of the hard work of Toastmaster DTM Amina.
Wow.
Like all the flyers that you see, even this PPT was a result of her work. So that's why she makes us all look good.
Truly appreciate.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, GE, Toastmaster Sasi Priya, and thank you so much, Toastmaster Asia, for giving the due credit. I would also like to ask our Club Growth Director, DTM Iman, now that she's stayed till the end of the meeting, how did you feel about it?
Actually, it's nice meeting. I missed only the prepared speech. I heard the second speech of Shehnaz. I missed the first speech of Badreya. The thing is, I love Shehnaz's speech that she give us always advice to how to become a good version of ourselves. I love today meeting. We have 5 guests, and I love them to be next meeting as a speakers. I want them to join the club and deliver their icebreakers. Are they willing to join the club? Who would like to join with us? No? No one raising hands? Okay. I'm very happy that to have our GE from Dubai, from District 127, and to share her experience with us. And she always give us a good feedback for today's meeting. you are welcome to District 116 anytime. And very our pressure that happiness that you are be part of today meeting.
Thank you so
And
much.
we learn a lot from you. That's
Thank
good
you.
opportunity that we share our experience together. I would love to see the guest become as a member. I think there is one raising her Nurpar. She's raising her hand. She has something to
Yeah.
say. Please.
No, she raised her hand when you said that who wants to become a member. So that's
Okay, great.
That's
You would
true.
like to
That's
be a
true.
member with us?
Yeah. Very, very soon I would be a part of it. In just I will get connected to them and will get to know how to go about it. Thank you so much
Yes.
for inviting.
Yes, Sakshi, she will support you how to become a member, and Sakshi supports her in pathway, and we need to hear her icebreaker next meeting.
Sure.
All the
Toastmaster.
All the best,
Right.
Exo. Back to you.
Oh, thank you, DTM Aman. Wonderful hearing from you. So yes, on that note, after the meeting, please reach out to Toastmaster Nisha, and she will pass my contact to you guys, and you can reach out to me anytime, every time, 3 a.m. at night, 4 a.m. night. I would be sleeping, but I would still respond to your text when I wake up. And with that being said, thank you so much for being a wonderful audience. Toastmaster Nisha, I am indebted to you. This session would not have been what it was without what you did. Thank you, GE. Thank you, all the role players. Thank you, Table Topic Master. Thank you, all the evaluators. Yes, Toastmaster Nupur. Oh, I believe it was the hand from
No,
the floor.
that was for the joining of the club. That is
Yes.
what I have raised my hands for. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So with that being said, everything is set. The day is almost over. I would like to adjourn the meeting number 9 of Books and Banter Toastmaster officially. Thank you all for joining me tonight and joining us tonight and being a part of this wonderful meeting. It is only because of you guys that the meeting turned out to be what it was today. Thank you. This was your presiding officer, Sakshi.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Toastmaster
Good
Sakshi.
night.
Good
Thank
evening
you.
and
All the
good
very
night,
best.
everyone.
Good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Bye bye. Good night.